Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Let's begin with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanathimiranthasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaham Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataru Yascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaham Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaham Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So let's continue the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The 18th chapter is the last chapter, the perfection of renunciation or Moksha Yoga. In the first section we have seen the difference between Sannyas or Tyaga, or there is no difference actually. That is the message given here by Krishna. Sannyas means rejection of the Kamya Karmas and Tyaga means giving up the results of all actions, and both means devotional service, doing everything for Krishna, doing only Krishna work and doing everything but not being attached to the fruits and offering the fruits to Krishna. So both are leading to devotional service. Sannyas and Tyaga, they are same. Then we have seen the 5 factors of action. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithak vidas vividhas cha prithak chesta daivam tevatra panchamam. For any action there are 5 factors which determine the possibility of success. Adhishtanam means the body, karta means the soul, karanam means the instruments or the senses, and vividhas cha prithak chesta means different kinds of endeavor or hard work, and daivam chaivatra panchamam means the paramatma, ultimate factor. So not only our hard work but success depends on other factors as well. Then from 18 to 40 we have seen the modes of material nature, 3 modes of material nature, and this is again being reiterated in the last chapter. Previously also we have seen in the 14th chapter, 17th chapter. Then we have seen the varnashram dharma, purification of varnashram dharma. So now 3 modes are explained. Now Krishna will explain how to go beyond the 3 modes of material nature, and Krishna starts from the basic to the most advanced method for overcoming the modes or getting liberated. So Krishna starts by purification by varnashram dharma. We have discussed that how this varnashram dharma, chatur varna and chatur ashram, brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, and brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyasi, 4 orders of life and 4 classes in the society. So this is not to be confused with the caste system. Varnashram system is very different from caste system. It is directly created by Krishna, and it is an intelligent design to run society in an organized way. And we have also seen that different big organizations, they are also following this. There are research and development team, administration team, finance team, and the execution team. Similarly, these are the 4 classes. And in Varnashram system, there is no concept of some classes are more important, other classes are not. All of them are important. They are considered to be the different limbs of the body. Brahmanas are considered to be the head, Kshatriyas are considered to be the hands, and Vaishyas are considered to be the belly, and Shudras are considered to be the legs. So all the limbs are important. We cannot say that if we don't have any limbs, still it is okay. No, the society cannot run properly. So this Varnashram Dharma means prescribed duty as per one's nature has to be done in a way that it leads to satisfaction of Vishnu. So that is purification by Varnashram Dharma. So if one does this Varnashram Dharma for the satisfaction of the Lord, then purification will happen. And then by doing this work for the satisfaction of Vishnu, that means I am working as per my prescribed duties, but I am offering the fruits to Vishnu. That is Karma Yoga. Okay. So Karma Yoga means not being attached to the fruits of action. That is Naishkarma or Niskama Karma Yoga. Okay. And that will lead to Jnana Yoga. So we have discussed in the Yoga ladder previously at the end of 6th chapter, Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. Krishna will come to that. And Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are the higher levels. Now Krishna is talking about this Karma and Jnana. Karma Kanda means people who only want sense gratification and doing Vedic sacrifices. They follow the scriptures. They are better than the atheist. This Karma Kandi people, better than atheist. They are following the scriptures for sense gratification. They see what is written in the scripture for this kind of sense gratification, and they do that and receive the sense gratification. For example, they want to enjoy in the heavenly planets. There are some scriptural injunctions for that. They follow, they enjoy in the heavenly planets, and when the pious credits are exhausted, they can come back. Better than that is Karma Yoga. This Karma Yoga has also 2 levels. One level is without the Supreme Lord, another level is with the Supreme Lord. So the lower level of Karma Yoga is without the Supreme Lord, where a practitioner is practicing that I will do my duty, but I will not get attached to the fruits of action. There is no concept of Krishna or God here. Another kind of Karma Yoga is very elevated and very close to Bhakti Yoga. That is when Krishna is at the center. Means I am doing all activity for Krishna. So for that lower level of Karma Yoga, where Krishna is not there, they will lead to Brahman. Okay, Brahma Jyoti. And a Jnani's destination is also Brahman. So this Jnani, so if someone is practicing this lower level of Karma Yoga, Naishkarmya, then that will also lead to Jnana, revelation of the knowledge. One will understand I am not this body, I am spirit soul, and so those are the natures of Jnani. So Jnani and Naishkarma practitioners, they will both go to Brahman. And beyond that is Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, that will be discussed in the following sections. So that is the Yoga ladder. Now we have seen that purification of Varnashram Dharma, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Okay, and what is after that? Working in pure devotional service, from verse number 56. Okay. Sarvakarmanyappi sada kurvano madvyapashaya matprasadadavapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotees, under my protection, reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. So these are the, now Krishna is transitioning to pure devotional service. Although a pure devotee is engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee under my protection reaches the eternal imperishable abode by my grace. So materialistic person is also working and a pure devotee is also working. A pure devotee also goes to job, maintains the family, and does all the material duties, but he is always Krishna conscious. On the back of mind, he has this conception that I'm doing everything for Krishna's pleasure, and he is engaging all talents, all resources in Krishna's service. So that is the standard of a pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada explains the word Mad Vyapashraya means under the protection of the Supreme Lord, to be free from the material contamination. A pure devotee acts under the direction of the Supreme Lord or his representative, the spiritual master. So a pure devotee is acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord. That means through the scriptures. In scriptures, we see the statements by the Supreme Lord. So if we follow the scriptures, that means we are following the direction of the Supreme Lord. And also another meaning is the spiritual master or guru is a representative of the Supreme Lord. So a pure devotee is also adhering to the instructions of the spiritual master. There is no time limitation for a pure devotee. Always 24 hours a day, 100% engaged in the activities under the direction of the Supreme Lord. To a devotee who is thus engaged in Krishna consciousness, Lord is very, very kind. In spite of all difficulties, he is eventually placed in the transcendental abode Krishna Loka. He is guaranteed entrance there. There is no doubt about that. In the Supreme Abode, there is no change. Everything is eternal, imperishable, and full of knowledge. Chetasa sarva karmani mayi shanyasya matpara buddhi yoga mupashritya matchitta satatam bhava. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. So this is a transition from this karma and jnana to pure devotional service. We just explained. A practitioner of Naishkarma focuses on not getting attached to the fruits of action. But a karma yogi who is trying to become a pure devotee is doing everything for Krishna. Okay? In that also there is a subtle difference between a karma yogi and a pure devotee. Karma yogi means I can choose my actions and I can do it for Krishna. But a pure devotee does not choose the actions. A pure devotee does something which will please the Lord, something which is instructed by the spiritual master. So a pure devotee even sacrifices his own desires. But a karma yogi has desire to do certain kind of action but offers the fruits to Krishna. Okay? And so there are three levels. One is the practitioner of Naishkarma, and then karma yogi, and then a pure devotee. Naishkarma means what? That I am not attached to the fruits of my action. I am doing it as a matter of duty. Karma yogi doing it for Krishna, offering the fruits to Krishna. A pure devotee is doing everything for Krishna. Even the action is chosen by Krishna's instruction through the scriptures or by the instruction of Guru. And obviously the fruits will be also offered to Krishna. So that is the high stage. Okay. Macchitta sarva durgani matprasadat tarishyasi athachetvam ahankaran nasosyasi vinakshasi. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through the false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So a pure devotee is always abiding by the instruction of the Supreme Lord. He is not motivated by the false ego. People in this world, out of their false ego, they do some actions. They are doing something to satisfy their ego, their sense gratificatory desires, the demands of mind. But a pure devotee is doing everything as per the instruction of the Lord or the spiritual master. So that is the difference. And Krishna says here that if you do not listen to me, you will be caught into Maya. Because a living entity is very minute and living entity is not very intelligent. So whenever the living entity is separated from Krishna, it is very easier for Maya to catch the living entity. An example is given that till the time a spark is within a fire, the spark is safe. If the spark is not associated with the fire, goes away from the fire, then it falls into the grass and it extinguishes. So similarly, as spirit souls, we should always adhere to the instruction of the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master. Otherwise, all our Satchid Ananda qualities of the soul, which are the innate qualities of the soul, that will be lost. That will be covered by false ego. Yadahankaramashritya nayotsa iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakriti swam niyokshati. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. So now this is a direct instruction for Arjuna. Krishna is telling that my prescription for you is you have to fight. You are a Kshatriya. Your nature is to fight. You don't try to become a Brahmana and leave the battlefield and do meditation. You should not do that. You should help me, O Arjuna, in establishing the religion. That is your duty. And if you do not act according to my direction, then you will act according to your mind's directions or your false ego's directions, and that is very dangerous. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada says that Arjuna was a military man and born of the nature of Kshatriya. Therefore, his natural duty was to fight. But due to false ego, he was fearing that by killing his teacher, grandfather, and friends, he will incur sinful reactions. Actually, he was considering himself master of his actions. And if he were directing the good or bad results of such work, he forgot that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present there, instructing him to fight. So, for some time, Arjuna was thinking, Karta ahamiti manyate, I am the Karta, I am the doer. And false ego was manifested in Arjuna. Arjuna is thinking, oh, I can kill them or I can save them. If I do not fight, they will not be killed. But Arjuna, in the 11th chapter, saw in the Vishwarup that all these different soldiers, they are entering the fierce faces of Krishna in the form of Vishwarup or Kalarup. So then Arjuna understood that I am not the Karta. Even if I do not fight, all these soldiers, they are destined to die because it is Krishna's desire. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Then Arjuna realized the position of Krishna. That Krishna is not some ordinary person. As a friend, he is suggesting me something, I can accept the suggestion or reject. No, it's not like that. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Once something is decided by Krishna, it will happen. And therefore, Krishna will say soon that Nimitta Matram Bhavasabhya Sachin. In the 11th chapter also, Krishna spoke that Nimitta Matram Bhavasabhya Sachin. You should become my instrument. I have already decided that they will die. Okay. So then Arjuna realized that if I act according to Krishna's instruction, then I will get the glory and I will execute my dharma. I will not incur any sinful reactions. So by following Krishna's instruction, everything good will happen. I will also get material happiness. I will also get spiritual credit. I will also be glorified. And if I do not follow the instructions of Krishna, all the negative things will happen. People will blaspheme. I will incur sinful reactions. And even if I do not fight, they will die. And I will not get material happiness also. So therefore, in all circumstances, it is always wise to follow the instruction of the Supreme Lord. And as a representative of the Supreme Lord, there is spiritual master or guru. If Supreme Lord, for Arjuna, there was Krishna himself dictating what Arjuna should do and what he should not. But for us, we have the spiritual master who is a genuine representative of the Supreme Lord. So that is the concept. Svabhavajena kvanteya nibaddha svena karmana kartum nechasi janmohat karishyasi yavashopitat. Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction. So, when a living entity is not listening to the direction of the Supreme Lord, that means the living entity is illusion. Only under illusion, someone will decline to act according to the instruction of the scriptures. But compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti. If one refuses to act under the direction of the Supreme Lord, then he is compelled to act by the modes, three modes of material nature in which he is situated. So what is the point? The point is a living entity can never be independent. Either one has to follow the orders of Krishna or he will be a puppet in the hand of Maya. So better to become a puppet in the hand of Krishna. Then Krishna can design our life. Krishna is much more intelligent and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He knows the past, present, future. He knows our nature. He knows what is best for us. He is our best friend. So therefore, it is always beneficial to work according to the instruction of the Supreme Lord. Work according to the instruction of Sadhu, Guru, Vaishnavas. Okay, they are the representative of the Supreme Lord. So whenever Krishna is telling Arjuna that work according to my direction, if you see 3-4 verses, Krishna is repeatedly saying that. So what is the purport for us? The purport for us is we have to follow scriptures. Scriptures are the direction given by the Supreme Lord. We have to follow Guru. We have to follow the Vaishnavas. So that is the practical application from this section that we can implement in our own life. Everyone is under the spell of particular combination of the modes of material nature. And modes of material nature means Sattva, Raja, Tama, and it is being controlled by Mahamaya or the illusory potency of the Lord, and is acting in this way. But anyone who voluntarily engages himself under the direction of the Supreme Lord becomes glorious. Okay, so in this section 56 to 60, Krishna is telling that work in pure devotional service. Rise up from this level of karma and jnana naiskarmya and come up to the stage of pure devotional service, where a pure devotee acts according to the direction of the Supreme Lord. So that is explained here. Now, pure devotional service means surrender. One has to be surrendered. So if someone is following the direction of the Supreme Lord, that means what? I will not use my intelligence. I will, with my corrupted intelligence, I will not judge. I will follow the orders of the spiritual master and Krishna. And we can use our intelligence to understand their instructions. And for example, with Guru, we can go back and forth. Guru gave us some instruction. We can say that, oh Gurudev, but this instruction seems a little bit difficult for me to follow. Then Gurudev will give you some other instruction which you can follow. Okay, so we can use our intelligence to understand the statements of the scriptures and understand the instruction of the Guru. But there is a level of surrender necessary. So for surrender, we should have that faith that my spiritual master and Krishna knows better than me. They are more knowledgeable. They are more experienced than me. So better to follow their instructions because they are my superior. So this is called surrender. And arrogance means whatever Krishna says in the scriptures, whatever my Guru says, I will not follow. I will only follow whatever I think as per my intelligence. So that is not surrender. So surrender means following the orders of the Supreme Lord and Guru. Now surrender is of two types. There are different kinds of yogis. Some yogis surrender unto the super soul. Okay, and some directly surrender unto Krishna, the Supreme Lord. What is the difference between this super soul and Krishna? A quick recap. This comes in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11. There it is explained that the absolute truth or Param Satya, it is, there are three different features of the absolute truth. What are those three features? Vadanti tat tat vidas tattam yajnanamadmayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. So there are three features of the Supreme Lord. One feature is Brahman, means the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence coming out of the Lord's body. Then the next is Paramatma. Paramatma means the form of Vishnu, Kshirodakoshayi Vishnu, in which he is present in the heart of every living entity. And Bhagavan means the Satchidananda form of the Lord, which is present in Goloka Vrindavan as Krishna, Shyam Sundar Krishna. So who surrenders unto Brahman, Jnana yogis, and Ashtanga yogis surrender unto Paramatma, and then Bhakti yogis, they surrender unto Bhagavan. So now that part of the yoga ladder is being discussed. So already we have seen karma and jnana, they lead to Brahma Jyoti. Now there are other kinds of transcendentalists or the Ashtanga yogis, they surrender unto Paramatma. And even higher than that is the Bhakti yogis who surrender unto the Supreme Lord. So Krishna will explain the surrender unto Super Soul and then conclude his instructions, final instructions, by revealing the ultimate one, that you have to perform devotional service unto the topmost feature of the Supreme Lord, that is Bhagavan. Okay, so now Krishna speaks about this surrender unto Paramatma, surrendering unto the Super Soul. What is the nature of the Super Soul? What are the activities of the Super Soul? That is being explained here. Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddhasher junatishthati brahmayan sarva bhutani jantradudani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, the Siradokashai Vishnu form, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of the living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energy. So previously in the 13th chapter, it was explained that what are the activities of the Super Soul? Upadrashta anumantacha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmeti chapyukto dehishmin purusha para. So Super Soul is situated in our heart, and Super Soul knows all details about us. What is our previous karma, what we did in previous 1 million lives, everything, every data is stored, and Paramatma knows everything. So Paramatma is sanctioning. This Jiva is desiring something and Paramatma sanctions. That is also we learned in the 13th chapter. Jiva desires, Paramatma sanctions, and material nature executes. So being seated in everyone's heart, Paramatma is sanctioning and Paramatma is deciding what I will get and what I will not. So that is the primary activity of Paramatma. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapshashi shatvatam. So Krishna is instructing, you should surrender unto that Super Soul. O Shian of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme eternal abode. Although Krishna himself is that Super Soul, Krishna is speaking something like Krishna is disassociating the Super Soul feature of himself than his actual Sachidananda form. Therefore, Krishna is telling surrender unto that Super Soul by his grace. So Krishna is telling Super Soul is a different personality, kind of. So why Krishna is doing this? Krishna can directly say that surrender unto me. Why Krishna is also instructing that surrender unto the Super Soul? It is Krishna's duty. Krishna's duty in Bhagavad Gita is to enumerate all yogas and give a choice to Arjuna. So what throughout this Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna did? In first 6 chapters, Krishna explained Sakama Karma Yoga, Niskama Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Naiskarmya, Sankhya Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, everything. Although for Jnana Yoga, later on Krishna says that it is not my recommendation that you follow Jnana Yoga. Klesha adhikatarastesham abhyakta ashakta chetasham. If you follow Jnana Yoga, your life will be miserable. It was my duty to explain, I explained, but I will not recommend you. Krishna recommended Bhakti Yoga many times. Manmana bhavamad bhakto, become my devotee, something like that. Krishna explained Ashtanga Yoga also in the 6th chapter elaborately. Then Arjuna told, I cannot follow this. Arjuna told, no problem. It was my duty to explain. Now I know that it is very difficult for you. So my prescription is you follow Bhakti Yoga. By following Bhakti Yoga, it is easier also. You will get my support, and at the same time, you will attain a higher destination. By Ashtanga Yoga, you can attain Paramatma. But by Bhakti Yoga, you will attain the Bhagavan feature and will come back to the eternal abode of the Supreme Lord. So it is the nature of Krishna. Krishna will not enforce anything unto the living entity. Krishna will give all different options in the plate and also give some recommendation, that my recommendation is this. This is like in a restaurant there are many dishes. Some dishes are chef's recommendation, something like that. Okay. So Krishna is telling here that it is also an option that if you want, you can also surrender unto Paramatma. Paramatma is also very one of my expansions, and he is controlling all the wanderings of the living entities. Iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyad guhyataram mayam vimishyaitadasheshena jathicchasi tatha kuru. Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. So now Krishna says that now I have concluded all my teachings. I have told you all different options that are available, and if you don't follow any of them, what will happen to you? What are the pros and cons of every path? I have given my recommendations also. So Krishna explained Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Many times Krishna has spoken that surrender unto me. Now Krishna also told that surrendering unto Super Soul is also an option. If you want, you can also do that. So now in this verse number 63, Krishna says, all my teachings are concluded. Now, Jathechasi Tatha Kuru, whatever you desire, you can do. It was my duty to explain, I have explained completely. Now, Krishna says one final time that, oh Arjuna, because Krishna is very, very compassionate father also, and it was Krishna's duty to explain everything. So Krishna explained and gave the option to Arjuna. But one final time, Krishna is again concerned for Arjuna, that Arjuna might be overwhelmed by the description of so many yogas. So one final time, let me remind Arjuna what is the actual teaching I wanted to give. By instructing that, Krishna will stop. Sarvaguhyatamam bhuya shrinu me paramam vacha ishtoshi me dedamiti tato vakshami te hitam. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction. This is very, very important. The supreme instruction of Krishna throughout this Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for this is for your benefit. So if you see, it was Krishna's duty to enumerate all different yogas and explain them. And it is the duty for the jiva to choose. But because Krishna is telling, because you are my very dear friend, I am concerned for you. I am concerned. What will happen if you pick up the wrong one? So one final time I will remind you that I have given so many yogas before you. But there is one particular yoga that is pure gem. Let me remind you of that, and that is my supreme instruction. And that is Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyashi Satyamate Pratijane Priyoshi Me. Only do 4 things and you are done. You don't need to analyze and analyze the pros and cons and choose something. I am making it simple for you. Forget everything and just engage in devotional service. Become my devotee. Do Bhakti Yoga. And let me also tell you that in Bhakti Yoga, what you have to do? You have to always think of me, Smaranam. And that is we are doing by chanting Hare Krishna. Become my devotee. That means Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Mathura Vasha, Srimurtira Shraddhaya Sevan. Associating with the devotee. What is the meaning of becoming devotee? I will associate with devotees. I will do chanting of the holy names. I will read the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Mathura Vasha, I will visit the holy dhams. And Srimurtira Shraddhaya Sevan, means I will worship the deity form of the Lord. And that is again reiterated, worship me in the deity form. Offer your homage or obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. These are the devotional activities. This is devotional service. This is what you should do. This is what you should choose out of the different yogas. Thus you will come to me without fail. If you choose this process, then without fail you will come to me. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Now the very famous sloka. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Bhakti Yoga means surrender. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Whatever I say, just do. I have done all the calculations on your behalf. You don't need to do the calculations. Even if you do the calculations, you might be wrong because a living entity's knowledge is limited. He does not know what is going to happen in future, but Krishna knows. So therefore it is always wise, when we are in dilemma, always follow the instruction of the scriptures or the instructions of pure Vaishnavas. Through the mouth of the pure Vaishnavas, Krishna will instruct us, and then everything will be taken care. We will not make any wrong decision if we adhere to scriptures and Vaishnavas. I shall deliver you from unskillful reactions, do not fear. So this is the final instruction. So we have seen throughout this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has very beautifully explained all the yogas and all different possible ways of practicing spirituality is explained in Bhagavad Gita. But at the same time, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna out of compassion highlighted that, oh Arjuna, there are so many different options. That option you need to choose. That is my recommendation. Still, you have some free will, Jatechasi Tatha Kuru. But let me remind you, that was the most important one. If you think, you can choose that. Now Krishna concludes the instructions. So, idam te nata pakshaya na bhaktaya kadachana na bhaktaya kadachana na cha tu shushabhevachyam na cha mam yobhyashushati. This is confidential knowledge. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. Now Krishna says that this is a very confidential knowledge that I have given you. And people who are not austere, who are not devoted, demoniac people, who are not engaged in devotional service, they cannot understand. If they are envious of Krishna, they are demoniac mentality, they have not done sufficient austerity, or they are not having enough sukriti, they will not be able to understand this knowledge. So therefore, one should distribute this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to faithful souls, to people who are devotees. So here Krishna by devotee means who have some faith on the Supreme Lord. It's not that they have to be pure devotees and only then I will explain the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. No, at least they are not envious. They have some faith in the Supreme Lord. They are not atheist. Then we can preach them. And now Krishna is giving that instruction of preaching. Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakteshu avidhashyati bhaktim mayi param kritva mame vashatya samshaya. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees means who has potential to become devotees. Pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. So our duty is to understand Bhagavad Gita and also distribute this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to others. And if someone distributes this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then Krishna guarantees pure devotional service to that person. न च तस्मात् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन् मे प्रियकृत्तमा भविता च न च मे तस्मात् अन्य प्रियतरो भुवि. And this is a very interesting statement made by Krishna. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So one who is preaching this message of Bhagavad Gita is most dear to Krishna. And Krishna says, he is most dear to me, nor will there ever be one more dear. In future also, nobody will become more dearer than such a person who is preaching the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, distributing Bhagavad Gita and preaching about this message of Bhagavad Gita attracts Krishna's mercy. By preaching Bhagavad Gita, we will get Krishna's mercy, and then we will be able to understand Bhagavad Gita more and follow the Bhagavad Gita more. अध्येशत्ये च य इमं धर्मं संवादमावयो ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्वामीति मे मतिः. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. So reading Bhagavad Gita, discussing Bhagavad Gita means what? That is also one kind of worship of the Supreme Lord by intelligence. Shraddhavananasuyascha Srinuyadapi yo nara Sopi mukta shubhallokan Prapnuyat punya karmanam. So this is a Falashruti. What is the effect of hearing this Bhagavad Gita. And one who listens with faith and without envy, this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planet where the pious dwell. So one gets material benefit also, and at the end of life, if one follows this Bhagavad Gita throughout his life, then he will attain the supreme abode of the Lord, and he will get out of this material world. No more janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Kachideta shrutam partham tvayaiकाग्रेण चेतसां कच्चिद् अज्ञान सम्मोहा pranastasте dhananjayam. O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with attentive mind? Krishna is asking now the listener, the student. Arjuna, you heard it with attentive mind, right? You got my what is the main point I was trying to make throughout this Bhagavad Gita? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled after hearing this Bhagavad Gita? Previously you were reluctant to fight with your own relatives. Now is that ignorance gone? Now Arjuna is telling. Arjuna uvacha nashtamoha smritirlabdha tatprasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. What is Arjuna's realization after hearing Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy, and I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. So by hearing Bhagavad Gita, all illusion are removed, and Arjuna is now can clearly see what is my dharma and what is not. So now Arjuna and Krishna's conversation is over. Now that conversation was narrated by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. So Sanjaya was also hearing this conversation of Krishna and Arjuna, this Bhagavad Gita. Now what is Sanjaya's realization? Ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmana sambadam imam ashrausham adbhutam roma harshanam. So ashrausham means this is a conversation that I have heard of these two great souls, and very wonderful conversation. So wonderful that and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end. Roma harshanam. I am feeling very excited by hearing this conversation, because this conversation reveals all the secrets of the universe, of karma, of life. All the secrets are revealed in this conversation. Vyasa prasadat shruttavan etad guhyamaham param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat sakshat kathayata swayam. If by the mercy of Vyasadeva, so Sanjaya is the disciple of Vyasa, and because of the mercy of Srila Vyasadeva, Sanjaya was able to hear the conversation. Although it was happening in Kurukshetra, Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra, they were in Hastinapur. By the mercy of Srila Vyasadeva, by the blessings of Vyasadeva, Sanjaya had that ability that he can telecast events that is happening far away. I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. So this is my greatest fortune, that by the mercy of my Gurudev Srila Vyasadeva, I was able to hear this conversation. And then what is the what Sanjaya is saying after hearing this conversation? Rajan samsmitya sambadam imamadbhutam Kesavarjunayo punyam hrishyami cha muhurmuho. O king, I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. So Sanjaya is also a wonderful student of Bhagavad Gita. By hearing this conversation, Sanjaya is telling that I am repeatedly recalling it, the wondrous holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. I cannot think of anything else other than that. Repeatedly that conversation is coming to my mind. I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. So that means Sanjaya has heard properly. But Dhritarashtra was not excited. Dhritarashtra is interested only whether my sons are alive or dead, whether they will be victorious or not. So Dhritarashtra is an example of bad listener. And Arjuna and Sanjaya, they are examples of good listeners, good students of Bhagavad Gita. Taccha samsmitya Rupam atyadbhutam hare Vishmayo me mahanrajan Rishyami cha puna puna. O king, I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna. I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Not only Sanjaya heard the conversation, but also saw the form of Krishna. And by seeing the form of Krishna, it is also very attractive. And Sanjay is telling, I am repeatedly remembering the form of Krishna and the message given by Krishna. And this is the last sloka of the Bhagavad Gita. It says, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharah, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, morality. That is my opinion. So the last sloka of Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Sanjaya, and Sanjaya's realization is that wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, this combination is there. No one can defeat them. So in a way, Sanjaya is also giving a message to Dhritarashtra that you don't have any chance. Your sons, they don't have any odds of winning the battle. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, then they will be victorious, because Krishna is the Supreme Lord himself and Arjuna is a wonderful student. Supreme Lord is also with us. In the heart of every living entity there is Krishna. So Krishna is there, but not Arjuna is always there. If we become Arjuna, then we will be invincible. Krishna is always there. Krishna is all pervading. So same Paramatma is there in our heart also. But can we become like Arjuna? Then we will be victorious. Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. There will be opulence, victory, and extraordinary power and morality. That is my opinion. So thus ends the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So it's a great journey, and we have completed the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So now, by completing this Bhagavad Gita once, it's not done. So Bhagavad Gita is very deep. Different practitioners of Bhagavad Gita, they say, the more I read Bhagavad Gita, the newer and different kinds of meanings are revealed. So we got one understanding of Bhagavad Gita. If we read the Bhagavad Gita second time, we will get more deeper understandings. And getting understanding is one thing. And if we can apply at least one verse of Bhagavad Gita in our life will be successful. So first step is to understand, and the next step is to apply. If we do not apply this Bhagavad Gita, then hearing and understand, by hearing we will get some punya, bias credit. But if you do not apply, then we are not practicing devotional service. Okay. So as Krishna told in the 7th chapter, Jnanam teham sa vijnanam idam vakshami asheshatah jaj gatva neha bhuyannat gatva bham avashishyate. If one knows the science of Bhagavad Gita, there is nothing else to be known in this entire world. So in Bhagavad Gita, all the secrets are there. If one understands Bhagavad Gita correctly, there will be no suffering for such a person. So Bhagavad Gita can give us the eternal bliss, liberation, and liberation from the pangs of this material existence. So such a powerful book is this Bhagavad Gita. Now it is our duty to go through the lessons we have learned through this Bhagavad Gita again and again, and we have to understand properly and apply that in our life. Then our life will be successful. Okay. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol. Let's take a questions from Priyanka Mataji. Okay, let me. Yes, Mataji, you can unmute.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. If you have time, please, if you can explain about this. Like, it's been like recently I have been like it's 2-3 years already back. But in ISKCON, like as soon as we realize that intelligence is given by the Krishna and all we do the work and task is for Krishna only, and whatever the results that's what I learned from you. Whatever results we get is we contribute to Krishna. But the earlier, before entering to this ISKCON, and I was not the devotee, but yes, we were working with the ego, and we were whatever results we get, we were feeding our ego. But as soon as we realized later, and as soon as I start working for the Krishna, that I wish Krishna give me motivation to do same task with same zeal and enthusiasm which I was doing before. I don't know. I found some change. I know, like that whatever we'll get, the results will contribute. I want to work with that same zeal and enthusiasm which I was working before. As
Mm.
of now, yeah. How Krishna can give us that? What steps I should perform?
Yeah, so for that we can do some mental exercise. For example, a mother will not be, suppose the mother is working and after work the mother returns home, and even if the mother is very tired, she will make some nice meals for the child. But if the child was not there, then the mother would think that, okay, let me order something or let me eat some fast food, something like that, which is not healthy. Okay, because uh, I'm very tired and I'm not concerned about myself. So whenever we are serving for others, then
Hmm.
generally we are more active. So that same feeling, similar kind of feeling we can have for Krishna. That till date I was working for myself, and even if I fail in that endeavor, what will happen? That I will get a little bit of less sense gratification. Nothing more will happen. But now I am working for Krishna and I can do so many wonderful things for Krishna. If I do not work, then I am not utilizing all the talents which Krishna has given me. And this is my duty to Krishna. When we learn from the scriptures how much Krishna loves us, a living entity is very grateful and wants to serve Krishna. So we have to cultivate that habit. Always remind us if we forget that now I am not working for myself. Krishna
Hmm.
and the devotees are connected to me. For example, if a devotee is doing very poorly in job, people will criticize and people will blaspheme Krishna and Krishna devotees, that, oh, all these Krishna devotees, they are not very efficient. So we have
Yes.
to think in that terms, that now my performance is associated with the reputation of Krishna and Krishna devotees. So I have to work with double enthusiasm. So we have to
Okay.
remind that again and again. Then we can.
Hmm.
And that is the
Yes.
reason why whenever someone is at that stage, if you see our acharyas, they are accomplishing like 10 times more than normal people. Just think of Srila Prabhupada. At the age of 70, opening and managing 108 centers. We are not able to manage our own home with our work. So see how pure devotees, they have a desire to serve Krishna in a very big way, and with that desire Krishna will give empowerment also, and they always think how can I serve Krishna more, and although they are serving Krishna very much, they are not satisfied. They always think that I am not serving at all. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur doing so much, only sleeping for 2 hours and 22 hours of service. Still Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Amar Jivana Sada Pape Rata. I am only doing sense gratification. I am not able to
Yes.
serve Krishna properly. So although that is difficult to reach the level of the acharyas, we have to remind us again and again.
Yes, Prabhu, yeah, something came up in my mind is yes. So, but while we are working, we also realize that this is materialistic things, and I don't know how Krishna will be happy, but when even we get something, it's all materialistic, right?
Yeah,
So,
so we
for
can spiritualize that. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita which says,
okay, yeah,
"Brahmarpanam Brahma Havir Brahmagno Brahmana Hutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina." So anything can be channelized to Krishna's service. For example, that we can directly engage our talents in Krishna's service. That is good. For example, somebody is a software engineer, they can make some softwares for Krishna. Somebody is civil engineer, they can make temples. Somebody is mechanical engineer, doing some machines for chapati making, something like that. So they are directly utilizing their talent in Krishna's service. Otherwise, one option is always there for all of us, that by your job earn money and use that money in Krishna's service. So
mm-hmm,
suppose I am working 8 hours daily in my job, and I am thinking, oh, these 8 hours are going in material activities and I am not able to serve Krishna. No, By working that you are earning money, and if you like use that money in Krishna service, keep some portion for self sustenance, and then rest if I use it in Krishna service, then my 8 hours of hard work, that is not any more material work, that is also devotional service. So this is how a devotee can always do devotional service.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Thank you, Prabhu. I think the last is like we have always have to remind ourselves every moment, and it will
yeah,
come in practice, right?
yes. We can also write
Thank
down
you.
these points and
Yeah.
paste the wall so that we don't forget. So yeah, another way we can utilize our material activities in Krishna service or like job. Another is designation. By getting promotion in the job, I'm getting some designation, and from that designation, if I speak about Krishna, many people will hear. So I am utilizing my position in preaching. I am utilizing my money in Krishna service. So these are the ways by which we can spiritualize our material work.
Yes, Prabhu. Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay. So thank you very much for being a part of this journey. And we have completed the Bhagavad Gita as it is today. Let us end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।